The next item is AVID and Advanced Programs Update. Dr. Pilch.
So, Mr. DeWitt, this is one of my favorite reports for us to receive. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and AVID is a program designed to take students who typically would not be college-bound students and to prepare them for college and to ensure that they graduate college. These are students that often neither parent has graduated from college. And so we have a very strong and very effective AVID program here in District 6. We have a lot to be proud of. We have a national demonstration site here in the district. 6 of our schools are AVID certified schools, and very proud of the programming here. The intent is to ensure that students take more advanced programming throughout high school, so more AP courses and other advanced courses. And what we know from the data is that a student who takes and is successful in advanced placement courses is more likely to be successful in college than a student who does not take advanced placement courses. And so AVID supports students through an elective class during the school day to ensure that they have the support that they need to be prepared to be successful in those advanced placement courses. And I'm pleased to introduce to you tonight Amanda Krieger and Amy Tuttle, who will share with you a combined update of AVID and advanced placement. I asked them to combine this because we do AVID to ensure that we have more students in advanced placement. And as I shared with you a couple weeks ago, we are one of the districts with a high poverty percentage, and we have a high percentage of students in poverty in advanced placement courses. And I expect there's actually going to be a story on Channel 9 in the next week or so about that. So I'll turn it over to Amanda and Amy. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Pilch, President DeWitt, and the Board of Education for allowing us this opportunity to share with you tonight. The demographics of the AVID elective class should be similar to the demographics of the district as a whole. Of the 1,090 AVID students in the district, 84% qualify for free or reduced lunch and 87% are minority. While in the district, 61% qualify for free and reduced lunch and 65% are minority. The free and reduced and minority percentages are slightly higher in AVID than overall demographics because AVID specifically targets students who are traditionally underserved and who are first-generation college students. Currently, the AVID program is at 95% capacity in the 41 sections district-wide. In order to meet the needs of our AVID students and deliver the AVID curriculum and strategies with fidelity to the AVID program, District 6 provides opportunities for professional development. Denver hosted AVID Summer Institute for the first time. AVID Western Division has been working to bring a training to Colorado for several years, and in July, approximately 3,500 educators gathered at the Colorado Convention Center. District 6 sent 47 educators, including teachers, billing administrators, counselors, secondary math and literacy instructional coaches, content coordinators, our IB coordinator, and the director of curriculum and instruction. You can see pictures here of our District 6 AVID Summer Institute participants posing with the Denver Welcomes AVID banners that were displayed all over downtown Denver. The mission of AVID involves providing access and equity to rigorous classes for all students, with a conscious effort to include students who may have been underserved in previous years. Being an AVID student in high school involves enrolling in higher-level rigorous courses such as Advanced Placement and International Baccalaureate. Currently, 262 AVID students are enrolled in an AP course. 88% of 11th and 12th grade students are enrolled in an AP course, and 122 AVID students are enrolled in 2 or more AP courses. Altogether, the AVID students in District 6 are taking a total of 432 AP classes this semester. In addition, 18% of the AVID students at Greeley West are also IB diploma program students. Enrolling in these rigorous academic courses prepares AVID students to be successful as they transition to college. Currently, AVID tracks graduation and future plans for senior AVID students by collecting senior data through the National AVID Data System. According to the District 6 2014-2015 senior data, The average AVID senior overall GPA was 3.2. 98.5% of AVID seniors took at least one AP or IB course during high school, and of those, 87.9% sat for the exam. 63.6% took a college course or a dual enrollment course. And of the 2015 graduates, 89.4% of AVID students were accepted to at least one four-year college, which is up from 84% of the 2014 AVID seniors.
As you can see, AVID provides amazing support for our students who are seeking college-level work while they're still in high school. So we're really going to focus on two of those opportunities that we have for students, and that's our Advanced Placement Program, which, as you may know, we sometimes shorten to AP, but that's our one-year courses where students really prepare for an exam that they'll take at the end of that year that can qualify them for credit. Or we also have the International Baccalaureate Program, which is has more components to it. So students are required to take 6 different subject areas at college level, and that also includes some core components such as theory of knowledge class, community action, and service as part of that, and also making sure that they have their essay, extended essay that they do research on as a component. So it's a little bit more involved, but we still have that opportunity, and many students take one or both of those courses. One thing I want to point out in this slide, because it can get confusing, International Baccalaureate's a mouthful, so we often shorten it to IB, but you'll notice there's actually 3 programs. So we're really focusing on that college level program, but I am going to give you an update on the other programs as well, because we're working on that continuum. So if you'll notice, diploma program is that high school level program, 11th and 12th grade, that's the college level curriculum. And so we sometimes call that DP for short, but diploma program, and it's got the British spelling because it's out of Cardiff, Wales, is where the headquarters is. Middle years program is 6th through 10th grade, and that overlaps from middle school through high school, beginning of high school. And then you've got your primary years program, which is the K-5 program. For advanced placement enrollment, something that's really exciting, if you look back at some of the earlier data, 2008, 2009, we had 608 students that were taking just a little over 1,000. It was 1,033 AP courses. There has been a significant increase at Northridge and Greeley Central where they've had that legacy grant, and that started for us in 2012, 2013. So I wanted you to see that big picture data because it really shows how the 4 years preceding the grant and then the 4 years since the grant, that we've actually seen a 39% increase in the aggregate number of AP students who are taking AP classes, and a 23.5% increase in the number of AP classes that they're taking. So, you know, even if you're averaging out those years before and after, we're still really seeing a significant increase since that participation in the legacy grant. So very exciting opportunity for our students. The demographics of the Advanced Placement Program really do reflect those of the district as a whole, which again is part of our goal, and I think you can see how that works so well with the goals of AVID as well, to support students who may not have had some introduction or opportunity or other support available. And so if you look, we really are pretty balanced in gender, free and reduced meal eligibility, and also ethnic diversity. And that has been fairly consistent over the last several years. We got a chance to sing praises a little bit last year too, if you remember, and this year is no different. Not only do students get their individual scores for individual subjects, which has always been the case, and most students take 1 or 2 classes, but what these honors represent for the different schools is an increased number of classes with increased averages of scores. The AP scores are actually out of 5 points, so if you look at this, this talks about the different schools and how many AP awards that they've received. AP Scholars, if you'll note, we have AP Scholars at every high school. Those are granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. And then you see we also have at every school AP Scholar with honor. Those are granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken, and they have scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. Then we get to this higher level, which is the AP Scholar with distinction is granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. And then last year, if you remember, we celebrated having a national scholar at every high school. We've added a 4th. So we now have another national AP scholar from this last year, and it's Barbara Lundenberg. And for her, in order to meet that requirement, she had to be receiving an average score of at least 4. Remember, you know, the highest you can get is 5. So 4 on all AP exams taken, and scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. So I just wanted to point those out to you because that's something not to be ignored, that we have some students who are not just taking the opportunity, but they're taking the opportunity and running with it. If you look at our International Baccalaureate enrollment, we have had a slight dip in enrollment, but it has stayed relatively consistent. It is housed over at Greeley West High School, which again is a full capacity school. And so we've kept our enrollment there pretty steady, and that's even with some change in leadership. I was the IB coordinator there in 2012, 2013. And then we had someone in between who started really late into the year, so we didn't actually have recruitment. So we did see a dip in our diploma program students, which has kind of affected us since then. But Amy Zuloff came on board in 2014, 2015, and you're already seeing those numbers come up because she's really brought on a lot more middle years program students who are ready to engage in that diploma program. So we expect to see that trend, upward trend continue, and our diploma candidate numbers should be increasing. So it's very exciting also with that more complex program. If we look at the demographics for IB as well, it's also reflective of our population, although it's had an interesting anomaly here with the gender. The gender's a little bit different this year. We have a higher percentage of females than males. It's still pretty reflective, and again, free and reduced meals, we have a strong percentage of students who are qualifying for free and reduced meals as well. And we also have a pretty even mix for our ethnic diversity as well for this program. I want to just hit a couple highlights for IB as well, and these are big. This is the first time this has happened, and it's got our staff pretty excited, and that is that we had a 100% passing rate for every single student who took that 6th subject in IB Visual Arts. And we've exceeded the world average in scores. So I just want to say congratulations to Mr. Krause and his students, because that's phenomenal to say every single student received that passing score. We also have the highest extended essay scores that we've received in the history of the program at Greeley West. And so that's been a huge turnaround for us, that they've really invested in effort and time to help students with that research project be able to get that time and focus. So again, that's another huge kudos. I told you I'd talk about the continuum, so I don't want to leave out the other 2 programs. So I want to give you a little update on where we are, and it's kind of exciting news. I talked to you about us looking for Brentwood to become a new partnership school for the middle years program, and we talked about that a little bit last spring. And instead of us going through a full application process, the IB organization, the International Baccalaureate organization, actually said, we'd like to just send a team this fall to come visit you, and we may skip that application process, which is a 2 to 3 year process. So they're actually sending a team, and they just moved the date, so I think it's now November 30th or around that date, that they're going to actually come and send a team, and if Brentwood is ready, they can just name them as an IB partner school. So that's almost unheard of and very exciting news. And Brentwood had partnered with Greeley West this summer. The staff and administration are on board, and they've done a lot of introductory training, and then they're going to some formal IB trainings to get themselves ready for this visit. Likewise, Dos Rios was looking to become a primary years program. We've not yet had a primary years program in Greeley, and so they went ahead and put forth their application A, and it was already approved rather quickly. So rather than that being a long process, that's been approved, and we're already working on application B, and they brought 2 IB trainers this summer who trained their entire faculty. So every teacher at Dos Rios was trained this summer in the primary years program. And those are all feeder schools for each other, which will help support that continuum so that kids will already know that language before they get to the next program. So very exciting news that we've added for that program as well. Okay, I think that's the end of our program, but I wanted to say thank you so much to you, President DeWitt, and Dr. Pilch, and the board, because really, Amanda and I really enjoy talking about these programs. We are passionate about giving opportunities to students who might not otherwise get these opportunities, and we see it making a difference in students' lives every year, and it's exciting to be able to share that with you as well.
Well, thank you very much for presenting, and I'm afraid you can't leave yet because we do have some questions and comments. Mr. Lydia.
Again, I want to say that this is one of the, shining examples of incredible programs that this district has put forward for our students, and that you touched on it, how impactful it is on their lives, their engagement, and really has played such an integral, important part in our increased graduation rates and student achievement. And so, I'm really glad to see these programs just blossoming. And you said something that I hadn't heard in a long time, is AVID at capacity?
No, did I say AVID? I meant Greeley West, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think you
Because
said
I was wondering.
95%
AVID
capacity.
is at 95%.
95%.
Yeah.
That's still,
Our average class size right now is 28 students.
that's great to hear. So,
Thank you. Ms. Elise?
Kudos, ladies. What an amazing presentation. This is great information. And it's so great to know that our kiddos that are on free and reduced lunch have this channel to really get them into college. And I know that's overwhelming sometimes for their families. So to have that support system is just amazing. And you guys have done such an amazing job with these kids. And the fact that this program gets bigger and bigger and bigger just shows how much effort and time you guys put into this. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Thank you.
No, I make stuff up all the time, but my memory is that at Prairie Heights we had a little visit. And you want to say a little bit about that experience? I wandered over and there was this fancy white bus full of important looking people just drawing off campus. What was that about?
Our district was honored to host the AVID District Leadership Training. It's a 2-year process for AVID district leaders. I've been through the process myself, but they start out by seeing a middle school, then they see a high school AVID program, then they see a middle school, high school feeder program, and then they see an elementary program. So the visitors that were coming into our district were they were ADL 3s, so they were seeing the middle school, high school feeder program, and they got to come in and be toured by our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to 6 AVID classes at Prairie Heights, and just ask some questions of our staff and our principal there, Dr. Don Hillman, and just find out what was going on with the program, how it's so successful, all the work that they put into it. And then they got into their fancy bus and headed on over to Greeley West, where we had our AVID seniors and juniors tour them to different classrooms. And at Greeley West, they got to see AVID tutorials, AVID classrooms, and then other content area classes that were using AVID strategies for all students. And I'm going to have to brag just a little bit and say how very honored I was to hear the comments from this group who said to us that that was the best AVID school they'd ever been to, a best visit that they'd been to. So congratulations to our staff and our students for being such great representatives of our districts.
I'm very pleased I asked that question. And I was not told to ask that question. It just ends up being a true bragging moment. That's really exciting for us. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Other comments, questions? Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, ladies.